Hello, everyone. We are back all the way through, no longer having terrible stress headaches, um, to play some Defiant. The possible end, we're not 100% sure if we have a finale.
Yeah.
It depends today. It depends on our schedule. But if you don't see us next week, it's because we were able just to wrap up everything neatly today. But we'll see how this goes. So, otherwise, um, we're just gonna get started here and start introducing everyone, their characters, and Andrew doing your thing and introducing yourself first and all that goodness. So Andrew, go ahead, fam. Do your thing.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I am the one running the narrative part of this game. Well, it's being so nice to run the technical part. And I am basically just the one in charge vis-a-vis the story. We'll do a quick recap after we go through the character introductions, but Pope was nice enough to supply the awkward icebreaker question this time. So going down the list, what would you say your character's theme song is?
Okay. So it's either there's a techno remix, I know, of Sucker Punch X Marilyn Manson Sweet Dreams by Bambi, or alternatively, Sleepwalking Past Hope by him. Because I'm a sad boy with pizzazz. Oh, and my character who loves those songs is Uzi. They are they, them, and they are the lovely Zelik's brother, and a Leviathan who's in a very, very bad mood from a very bad series of days. And I'm Ellie, and you can find me on Twitter at @lesperanto. Who's next?
It's Violet. Yeah.
Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't sure, and you didn't put up a little thing anyway.
It's the same every day.
Okay. Well, every week my memory is like a goldfish. So
it's okay.
All right. So I'm Fairies Arena. I'm playing Violet Aria, the whore slash swan. And
Goddess.
I think her song would be Pink Rover by Scene Queen, because she would like to cut off some penises, I think.
Cool. Could you also unmute yourself in...
Oh, sorry. Yes.
It's okay. Very good.
Hey everybody, Pope here. I'm going to play Clive Bradley, and I am absolutely giddy. About my favorite devil. As for a theme song for Clive, I am kind of torn because Prelude in C-sharp minor by Rachmaninoff is one that I can definitely hear with his presence. But also because, I am my age, and I am my edgy self, passive by a perfect circle.
I fucking love A Perfect Circle so much. The superior band to Tool. Sorry.
Listen, counting bodies like sheep.
Yeah. Cool. So, hey nerds, I'm Val. This is my channel. Today I bring to you Zelik, the fraternal twin to Uzi, who is, I think he might actually be the nice twin. I'm not sure. I think that's actually been established. Very soon or recently divorcee. Did I freeze? Okay, it's frozen on my end.
Yeah.
Yes? Oh man, come on, internet. Behave thyself. Well, you can still hear me. And at least I'm cute. So, the song that I was like, as we were told this question, I had to go look up, I think is actually Dangerous by Big Data. Well, now everybody else is frozen. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is dying. My computer is having a seizure. No, really, my computer is having a seizure.
That sounded like Val might have fallen down a cliff.
Well,
yeah, I started to hear y'all again too.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you again, but your
Yeah,
video is still out.
Yeah, y'all video is frozen for me too. I haven't gotten
Uh-oh.
an actual dip in frames, but everything is actually frozen on Zoom. So I'm just gonna switch to Splash here real quick again. Sorry, just to. Your mics are
Welcome
going
back.
hot again. Hi, we're back. Okay. It was Zoom. Zoom decided to have a hiccup, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. I love you. I don't know if you heard it, but it's dangerous by big data. I think that's where I'm feeling with Zellic right now. I think it's a vibe, right? But yeah, that's me. That's us. As a reminder here, we review Affected Game. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. We will for the bits, we have a reroll pool. For the subs, we have a shard pool, in which we just renewed a whole bunch of them that you have donated to us to go into this very large fight. Donating money, you can help with. You know what? If you donate $2,000, we'll just stop. I'll pay everyone here, and we'll just leave. What? That's but really it's just helping with endeavors and afflictions where I'm not really applying, but you know, if you want to maybe sneak a little idea for Andrew with a donation, I also suggested that for $50 we'll just all be cats. Like
Surprise! I lured you all into a Warrior Cats RP. Strap in. It's going to be like high school.
I will play that 100%. Second of all,
so fair. Before we get started, so what we're saying is that we need to play as Ray Cats. Like we need to play.
Why is there not a Warrior Cats TTRPG?
There's a Ray Cat.
Why do you think there's not?
Oh.
It's called Ray Cats, and it's by Six String Games.
Wow, good for them.
It's
a
little snack game. So yeah, we're just gonna actually, because I could just do this. Yeah, go.
This will become a Ray Cats game.
Yeah, go follow Six Strings by Ray Cats. Anyway, so otherwise I'm done now. So go ahead and start. Do your thing, Andrew.
Wait.
Or not.
I have a question, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
What is the villain's entrance song?
Yeah.
Zero's song is specifically Serpents Who Slither in Venomous Slander, my impression of your impression of me by Forlong from Live from the bottom of the deepest hole in the world.
Wow, that sounded really indie. I've never heard it.
It is the exact amount of pathetic flop sweat horniness that completely encapsulates the Zero ideal.
Oh no.
Yes.
I hate it.
I had like Tom Waits' God's Away on Business.
I had Nothing Else Matters by Metallica.
That's a good one.
He's a complicated guy who just happens to suck. All right, so This is, and you will know us by the Trail of Dead, the finale episode, part 1. In the city of Tromvoy, things have gone a bit askew with the introduction of Zero, an individual who was leading a personality restoration cult called the Zeros that was eventually revealed to be a horseman who was attempting to undermine the city on the orders of a mysterious and hitherto unknown third party. Also, there's a dragon in space called Null who is trying to get back into reality so he can unmake all of it because Null was basically cursed with form by God at the very beginning. There's a whole speech about it in episode, I think, like 7.5. The last thing that happened was the group found out that Zero was actually a distributed identity across 4 individuals: Malpero Diogracias, a Deva; Salazar Sidewinder, an Infernal; Glorious Basilica, an Angel; and Hieronius Prominence, a Leviathan. Salazar Sidewinder was killed first in once the team had escaped the Lotus Eater machine he had put them in by giving them all of their greatest desires. Glorious Basilica died from died from simping too hard. And because he felt the mortal influence of love, he grew a conscience, which is not something that a non-sentient machine should be able to do. And in his death throes, he gave Violet the idea that can be used to kill the info form that is Zero. And at the airport, Hieronius Prominence got into a fight with got into a very short, very bloody fight with the group, and thrown into a burning inferno that basically destroys him. So where we pick up is in the rain in the airport with the team standing around the body of Arise Sphenoid, the spider Deva that was in charge of the airport's VR tech and servers, next to the deep glowing pit. And in a sort of a retcon, because I kind of didn't have a way to fit this plot point in, but Pope was nice enough to help out. Standing near the edge of the pit, being reminded of home, Clive is, for a moment, disjointed. And as everything sort of fades out around him, the camera pans around his body a little bit and reveals Hieronius standing next to the cliff leading into the pit with his hands in his pockets. And with this sort of wicked, casual and almost seductive smile, he turns his head towards Clive and goes, "The only thing I wasn't able to figure out is how you were able to get out of Sidewinder's trap. Everybody else fell for what they wanted the most, but each of you walked away. So what makes you special?"
Excellent question.
I'm a goddess.
Oh, no, this is
Ah,
specifically to Clive, yeah, because Clive is the one who burned to the sky alive.
But that's a really good answer. I'm literally a guy, and I don't.
Yeah, you can't stop me. And Hieronius, like, there's a reverse shot of your response to Hieronius, and then a shot over Clive's shoulder at Hieronius, and he sort of narrows his eyes for just a second and glances directly into the camera before looking back at you and goes, "Oh, I see it now. You are some kind of fucked, Bradley."
Fourth wall of shit.
Oh. We can't all be special.
I suppose we can. And he exits your presence by just walking into the inferno and vanishing. While this is happening, Uzi, you're cradling the broken and shattered body of Ride Sphenoid, your friend, the misunderstood Spider Deva, who almost gave her life protecting the servers and the VR pods underneath the airport. And I believe you wanted to do something.
First question, how alive are they? Are we like 4 seconds from death alive? Or like...
If you were to get them immediate and severe medical attention, they would live. Otherwise, they're going to slip into basically a defiant coma until they're able to restructure their body.
So, I'm gonna cradle them and close their eyes and give them a kiss, and I'm gonna tell them that things are gonna be okay. And I know Rise on a personal level, and the fact that they were kind of a lonely person. And I want to take what is left of their divine spark and sort of just put it with mine, I guess. Because, traditionally that's really a bad idea, but A, Uzi's done, and B, it's those two have bonded over their shared loneliness and inability to really connect to others. And Uzi's willing to take the risk of whatever will happen to do that.
Whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
Ryth is clearly in agony. She has a huge gash across her chest that was soldered back closed with hellfire. And she can't really respond. She's clearly barely sort of clinging on to consciousness, much less the ability to have a coherent conversation. So there's not much resistance when your hand easily passes through her chest and wraps around that intangible thing that connects her to the Seraphim. And as you pull it into yourself, information comes flooding into your mind. Her entire history, everything that made her what she was, the ostracization she felt, and the self-loathing at her own perceived ugliness, and her what she thought were deviant desires, and her inability to trust anyone enough to talk to them about these problems, as well as what actually happened in the basement of the airport. Hieronius and his group broke in, and they held her off while they uploaded a new, well, it's hard to say. They uploaded something to the internet, or the local intranet, I should say, the network connection that bridges all of Trump Voi's information. And she wasn't able to figure out what it was because she was never infected with the Zero virus, but you do. And it's a modification of the Zero info form that changes it in a specific way. And it takes you a few minutes or a few moments to sort of gestate and figure out exactly what this is. But eventually you come to it as the sun somehow, beaming through, somehow visible through the clouds, begins to be blotted out with an eclipse that the modified info form is a Manchurian candidate called the VBV alteration that is now going to affect everyone who sees the eclipse. And that's where we're going to start the episode. So, welcome to the finale part 1, maybe, or just the finale. And in the end, we beheld the Alpha and the Omega. The poem this time is there in the starless dark, the poise, the hover, there with vast wings across canceled skies, there in sudden blackness, the black pall of nothing, 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 nothing at all. That's from Archibald MacLeish's The End of the World. And now chaos begins to reign. In the distance, you can hear the sounds of gunfighting and violence, explosions. It sounds like the city is erupting into a all-out war. Auras of defiant sparks flaring into battle form are silhouetted between the buildings in the distance ahead of you. So what do you do?
Well, I give them a quick rundown of what I know about the internet information situation. And anything I know about Zero specifically and the people who are part of Zero, so we can kind of list the things we need to deal with, which are, first, obviously the chaos. Second, we need to make sure all of the parts of Zero are dead. And third, we need to figure out a way to unzero people, I guess.
Sorry,
I have an idea.
Did you literally just tell the group to go and prevent the confusion in the city? No, stuff like
the less of that and more of pick up the phone and telephone line every David Leviathan in person we know. To be like, go do your shit, call your favors.
We have an access point with, even though most of it's on fire, we have an access point. I have an insane idea. So,
listening.
I want to create a new end user agreement that just goes out to every single electronic device. You must click to accept the terms. Otherwise, the device will not turn on. It will just stay at the screen. Part of the end user agreement is that you must destroy all zeros.
How do we...
That pings something in your mind, Uzi. Just that context clicks. The Manchurian trigger is violence breeds violence, and it basically works in 2 ways. It creates an ego anchor around we are zeros and they aren't, and we have to kill them before they kill us. Once they're locked into that loop, the urge to violence is cranked up to 11 and the dial is snapped off.
That would prevent people who haven't been affected, but what about everybody else? Still, creating less is probably a better idea.
Well, if they're already in a violent state, I'm just trying to...
But everyone wouldn't be, hopefully.
I'm just trying to use what magics I have access to.
No, your idea is fine.
Something I can do. But the other thing would be, I don't know, can we put a new sun in the sky just for a little bit?
I think I'm gonna look at Violet for that one. Darling, I've heard you're a god. How do you do? Can you... sunshine? Or clouds, maybe. Something to block it. Yes?
Am I blocking?
The eclipse.
Are you blocking?
The sun. Well, if it's hypothetically speaking, if it is triggered by seeing the eclipse, then could we not simply block the eclipse?
The eclipse is currently being drawn over everything else. Like literally, it's in the foreground of every other background object. If you were to move where a building was supposed to be in front of the eclipse, you can just see it.
Interesting.
And there are no devas, I'm assuming, that could do something about that. All right.
Around this time, you just see someone just come out of the ground, and it's me. Hey, I'm in it. Just crocodiles my way. It's like, oh, there goes my fancy dinner party. The fuck is going on? Like,
Clive ordered to put her to hell. I ate my girlfriend, and there's a maturity candidate protocol going across all the electronic devices on the internet. Did I forget anything?
Also, there's an eclipse thing going on.
Yeah, I see that.
Eclipse zeros, and people made agreements with me, and I'm unshackled now.
Oh,
Anyway, Clive.
that's no fun.
Well, Clive, would Clive's plan work for people who haven't turned on their devices?
There is one easy, quick answer to make Clive's plan work, and it is on.
Let's do it.
It is on Violet's character sheet.
Is it under the questions?
No,
To solve this problem, we would need divine intervention.
Glorious gave you the anti-zero phenomenon, the idea that kills zeros.
Which would be a better idea, right?
Yeah, you have the better idea.
Would that idea be me?
No,
Yes.
consider the idea as a thing in your inventory that you could just give Clive, and Clive can put out throughout the web.
Could we
Sure.
make them worship Violet?
It's a USB stick. Okay.
No. I like the idea of it's sort of like transferring the concept in info form and
To love.
just putting it out there. But no. As part of the end user agreement, the acceptance looks like Violet. That's the accept. So you're already drawn to push it. Push it real good.
Oh, that's really smart. That's really smart. All right,
Also-
I say let's.
Taking Violet's, essentially the concept of Violet's violetness, and using that as a lure.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's throwing the roll for this?
Who's our smart boy? Oh no, I'm the smart boy. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the.
You're the smart one.
Oh no,
I'm the
I don't have
strong
my
boy.
dice. You
I'm
have my
just
dice.
brutal.
All right. So electronic rolling it is.
No problem. All right, so count yourself at potential 2 for 1, having the anti-zero phenomenon, and 2, having eaten the one who sort of represented the internet to begin with.
I have talented searcher. I have no shame, so I'm 100% hot girl summer branding this. This is gonna be as bad as a monster themed tour where it's just gonna be the cattery everywhere. And then yeah, I think that's all I've got.
All right. 4 puts you at D10. Oh, excuse me, D10, 2D8.
Okay. D10 and 2D8. I'm gonna let you know, guys. I have what I call the electronic dice rolling curse. Because I only roll really solid rolls in real life. All of my electronic dice do not work.
Fucking fair. An
We-
actual
yeah.
RNG, yeah. No one
It's pretty
judges.
awful.
I get so
Okay.
with those pseudo.
How many
RNGs.
D8s?
2D8, 1D10.
Oh, okay. Come on. A 7, a 4, and a 2.
Okay, so that's 1 success.
I warned you.
You're good. You didn't get any trouble either, so you're fine. All right. So without the actual physical infrastructure there, it's not easy. You're calling on your divine spark to effectively emulate the information sphere that this data is being transmitted to. And on top of that, not everyone is going to click the EOULA. So while you are going to get the possibility to roll, nothing like you have eliminated enough zeros and turned them back into non-zeros with this to prevent your pathway from being blocked while you're moving through the city. You're still going to have to roll, and it's still going to be challenging, but there's no way that you're going to be completely stymied by just a blockade of zeros with like machine guns. Just because they don't have that much manpower, losing maybe 15 to 20% of their initial strike force.
Okay, so I have one other thing I want to do.
Okay.
I happen to have some courtiers,
Yeah.
courtiers, if you will, and one of them is a cheerful gossip named Fuckboy.
Yes.
And I would like to contact my beautiful boy and have him spread.
Right.
I want him to get it in that hot new music.
Right.
And I'm gonna have my court, because they have to listen to me, have like deck out the tech center and the shopping center, because I own like an actual like e-bullshit business. So I'm gonna like, all right, send out like, do your shit to try to get like, get it out there, I guess.
So you're expanding the scope
Yeah.
of the anti-zero phenomenon to include like visual and print medium.
Yeah.
Slapped on the
as
side
much
of
as I
trucks.
can.
All right.
And like I know that's gonna take a while, but like I want that, I guess, to be playing in the background as we try to get through stuff.
Yeah, you've turned an impossible challenge to a manageable one, and then you've given yourself a contextual +1 potential for certain challenges. Did I just teleport? What was that?
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around.
I split by meiosis for like 1 second and then came back together. It was crazy. My shadow clone jutsus and such. All right, so that is something that will pay off in the future.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the other problem we had to solve?
There's the eclipse thing and the chaos in the city.
Did we murder all the zero?
There is 1 0 left that you know of. Malpero Diogracias.
Who is?
He was the one who led the distracting attack against the hydroponics plants.
Yes. Zillick.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna ask.
Zillick, you want to?
Spin a shard and ask a question.
All right. Yeah. You're crazy.
As I'm looking
Shard.
at the eclipse, how do I destroy it? I just love that's my question. How do I destroy this?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the eclipse is effectively the stage that's getting set for null to come through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally imposing itself on reality. There's no way for you to block it out or get rid of it. So you can think of, or your divine spark gives you the answer in, let's say, 3 potential options. 1, eat the sun. No sun, no eclipse, null's gone.
You can eat the moon too.
True. 2, wait until null is just about to come through and then eat him. And 3, stop whatever is generating this false eclipse.
Who do I know that can generate a false eclipse?
Somebody is generating a false eclipse.
Yes.
Violet.
Someone's moving the moon. Is it the
Violet.
moon going? Is it the moon going in front of the sun, or is it the Earth's shadow going in front of the sun?
It's I think it's the moon going in front of the sun because it's the corona of a zero in the sky.
Gotcha. Okay, so okay.
That's a Deva. It has to be a Deva.
There is, and this is something that has come up, but it was sort of in the background. There's a Deva council that oversees this, the effective like running of weather patterns and celestial events around here, because technically you don't have a line of sight to the sky. And they operate in the Coalesci building.
All right, then I suppose somebody needs to murder a guy, and then some of us need to talk to the Seraphim. I look around. I look at the hole in the ground. I call dibs on the Seraphim.
I mean, it'd be easiest for me to get into the Deva area, being a Deva. So I'll go murder the person, I guess.
No. I mean, how many people does it take to kill a pussy?
I don't know. Pussies are pretty tough. They can take a pounding.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that one like Troy situation, but a lot of people died for one.
To be fair, it's been quite some time.
I can go with Violet.
Do you think we could send the devil and the dragon?
This feels like a god. This feels like a god problem. As for what I can do in this moment,
you can help me murder someone.
Well, I can try and find Malparo, and
Would you like to make a deal?
Love to.
Glorious. I'm gonna pull a cigar out, and I'm gonna look at Violet and Zelik. Brother, you have been both my brother in arms and my companion for literally our entire lives, barring
it's been a while.
1 microsecond.
Couple millions. Couple hundred millions.
I know I can trust you to do what must be done. But just in case, may I make a recommendation?
I will eat the dragon.
Oh, I meant that you have god killers at home. It's very easy to coerce people at gunpoint.
That is true. I do.
So what shall you do?
Out of character, help me out because I'm not following like what people want.
Oh. So basically,
yeah,
Clive is definitely going to go for Smash Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Violet definitely has to go for the council. So I'm asking you, what do you prefer to do? Basically?
What do I prefer?
You want
to? So the council is where the Deva are that are
might be moving the moon.
That could be moving the moon. I think I should take the god killers there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to turn to Violet. By the way, the god killers have been just chilling at my house. I think I'm just going to take them into my court at this point. They're really nice people.
Can it hurt? Really?
I mean, really. With the way the gods have been behaving, I don't think it's lost.
So just to give you some backup, I have god killers for us.
Oh, I thought that was a threat.
No. I wasn't threatening you to use as
Yeah, because I don't think that'd work anyway. I could just seduce them and then I'd just get them to kill you.
Oh, they're definitely very seducible.
Don't forget. Clive also has a god killer.
Oh, he does.
She killed 2 Leviathans with a meat cleaver and a gas main, dude. She's a god killer.
Still, it's always
out of harm's way.
She's more of a beastie killer, for being honest.
Yeah, let's put her in the. She's the B team. So.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go Violet. I will send a message to my assistant, and I say, please escort our friends to the Cluster building.
All right.
Avoid the mayhem if needed.
I have been asked a question, but I need to know what the target of that question is.
That I sent it to you.
Okay. Well, I got to say what the question is because I have to answer it.
Yeah.
All right. So the question that's been asked is what breach is there in Null's defenses? There's no way to destroy Null. Basically, the more you take away from him, the more him there is, because he's nothing. And you can't fill him up with stuff because he's, while finite, still an infinite amount of nothing. While he is physically bound, he is still an infinite amount of nothing. So there's really not a lot you can do to him physically. But Granny did specifically point out that it's at least cognizant, if not sentient. And there is only one thing tying it to reality right now, and that is whoever is calling the eclipse. So if you were to stop whoever's calling the eclipse, you'd be able to sever Null's connection to reality and send him back to wherever he lives.
Okay. All right.
So we're doing this sort of a Call of Cthulhu moment. Kill the cultist and then all the dark gods and Leviathan.
And in a worst case scenario, it seems he has a clear desire. Therefore, if hypothetically he is summoned here, we likely could.
You'd have to get to where the summoning is, though.
Yeah. So how do we find that out?
Well, to answer that question, let me ask you another question. Who is behind all of this? Melly, I know you know how to game, but the clues have all been laid out. Who is the one person with the means, motive, and opportunity to call Null here? Who is...
Better question. Who has the means to control all four of our kind? And know about Null in the first place?
Who's stupid enough to give a gun a conscience?
Old enough to know how to give the gun a conscience?
Pope, you made a very worried face last week when I talked to you about this, so I think you have a suspicion.
First answer is God. And right now, I don't think I can punch him hard enough.
Well, we have what's the closest thing to God then?
An archangel.
Mm.
And that's an in-character thing that Zellick will say out loud.
There's gods and angels.
And as
Who's our God?
As Zellick says, an archangel, the eclipse begins to bleed a long blank tail that connects with the very top of the Coalesced building.
Oh, we at least know where it is.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
We don't have time to think about this. And as for the Archangel, I happen to know where that one is.
Yeah, I will.
Would you like me to transport you to the Coalesced building?
Ooh. What would you like in return?
Oh, I just want the eclipse stopped.
I can help with that.
I'm gonna turn to Violet and I'm gonna be like, I'll give you a ride for free, babe. Let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna shake your hand.
Sweetheart,
That's the best
I
way.
can literally fly there.
Yeah,
I'll be there
but
faster than you will.
But they don't.
I don't have to worry about
move.
traffic.
I was trying trying to worship you, man. All right, bye. And I fucking leave to go to the. I dive underground, and I head to the classy building that way.
I'm gonna turn into a bird and fly off and shake my head as I go because this is
Everyone seems
nonsense.
to forget that part. Yeah.
I was trying to fucking flirt in the inch
Look.
of time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. First of all,
I respect your game.
hard to
Thirst and
I
emotions.
understand Clive's head.
Offer your ride to the person with wings.
I know, but hear me out.
Just didn't
Maybe
want
they don't
you
want
to
your hair to get
use
messed
any
up.
effort. Like wanted you to save it.
Yeah.
It was just,
How
it's
are
alright,
how
it's
are
alright.
Uzi and Clive getting there?
We're teleporting.
Clive
via
made a
darkness.
deal.
All right.
Hold my hand and then
The city is in. I'm not gonna make you roll for this because you've each found a way to circumvent the chaos that's happening on the street level. The city is, at first glance, it appears to be complete anarchy. People fighting each other in the street, gunfire going off, swords being swung at one another's heads. But eventually you start to see a pattern begin to emerge. And it looks like as you're moving across the city, all of the zeros are teaming up, mortal and defiant alike. They're specifically grabbing mortals who are not zeros and forcing the zero info form into them. The defiant who are not zeros are getting slaughtered in mass, whether by dragons in the air being bound with infernal chains or angels alighting upon gods and slaying them. It is a bloodbath of both metaphoric and physical representation. And what you're seeing is, as the zero meme complex sort of metastasizes in the people who are not inoculated with the anti-zero phenomenon, they're not as human as they were. So basically all of the mortals that are zeros are becoming horsemen. To answer your question, Uzi, do it while you're in the middle of the teleport.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, because you're technically in no space right now.
I'm gonna do it then.
All right, roll it.
I mean, okay, so I have a question that's sort of in game, sort of not.
All right.
If hypothetically all of the humans become horsemen and the Clint's infernals have to be human, would that change the goalposts?
How do you mean?
Well, that's their thing, right? Be human.
that's the house motto.
Yeah, I'm asking about your house, I guess. I got a 6, a 5, and a 3.
A 6, a 5, and a 3. That's 2 successes. All right. Okay. All right. I see what's up.
Just pocket that. You'll be fine.
In the brief millisecond, while Clive and Uzi don't exist, nothing turns its eyes onto both of you. The weight of nothingness is like 1,000,000 pounds over each square inch of your body. The blinding ego wiping emptiness that surrounds you is the first thing that you notice, and it sends your cognizance sort of reeling, because there is perfect, true deprivation of all sensation and input. And then Clive feels the pain, and it's a pain
Clive?
you remember.
Oh.
It hurts like hell. And I'm not exaggerating. It feels like hell. And it feels like hell spread over 1,000,000 years. For every instant you feel it, time is dilated in this agony that this creature is feeling.
Clive?
And
Clive is experiencing what can only be referred to as infernal ecstasy at witnessing this. This is beauty perfected in his eyes.
Clive. About that deal.
Yes.
I want 2 conditions. 1, you hear nothing. You've seen nothing. This never happened.
I mean, technically, that's already fulfilled. He's hearing nothing and seeing nothing right now.
2, I will find a way to contact you. And at that point, you need to find a way to get me to you and the Koleski building.
Okay.
In exchange, I will give you one of my wings. And all the agony that comes with its removal, of course.
It's tempting.
There's a bonus that we might save the world. Or at least ours. You could also just stay here and see what's the worst that could possibly happen.
Stay here in the stopped time.
Like he like Clive is having a hard time paying attention
Mm-hmm.
because Clive is like, this is like experiencing the Sistine Chapel for the first time.
Be human. Remember?
I don't want a wing.
What do you want then?
Suggestion.
I want now. I want to wreck something beautiful. I want 2 of your teeth.
Deal. See you soon. And I'm just gonna turn and just walk into the darkness. And start humming. I will follow you into the dark.
All right. And here is the 2 success blowback. Pick one of your traits.
My horns.
Okay. They're gone. Your horns not only don't exist now, not only are they not on your head anymore, but the nothing enthalpy around you has made it so your horns never existed to begin with. History is not retroactive to the meta narrative, but it is retroactive to you. You've never had horns. Let that change your personal story as you see fit. Everybody else can remember you with the horns. All right.
No. I think we might have more in common than you think.
All right. We'll come back to you.
I would like to make a deal.
We'll come back to your deal. Okay. Now, let's say that Clive, Violet, and Zellic arrive at the Coalesce building at functionally the same time. Other anti-zero individuals are currently locked in combat and getting their asses kicked by a quattro of Defiant zeros.
Mhm.
The group of which stands on the stairs of the Coalesce building, basically fighting a pantomime fight as their info forms clash with the individuals who are trying to get into the Coalesce building, either for shelter or for revenge. It's Cassidy, partially manifesting into her draconic shape. Ozymandias Delight, the angelic leader of La Jabaro, wielding a pair of Mac 10s. Someone that Violet recognizes as the bad child, Saffron Blitzkrieg Mahatma Genocide, the Deva god of slaughter, and Triumph Matroska Lagrange, an infernal that has a bunch of black marks on his record. And the four of them are basically like Cassidy's just throwing down the shattered corpse of an angel as its broken wings sort of spit feathers aside. And as this rain of nothingness drops down upon you, she steps forward amongst her crew and looks at you, Zellic, and says, "Just walk away, Z."
Nah. Walk away from what? Let's go.
You can't.
Cracks.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all getting ready.
Yeah.
It's like weapons are being drawn, claws are being manifested, fangs are coming out. Blood is beginning to rain down from the sky.
Mm-hmm. But also, nah, bitch. Nah. You're gross. Let's go. And I would like to immediately go for Cassidy.
Before
yeah.
Zellic decides to go and murder everything, may I ask a question? May I spend a shard to ask a question, please?
You certainly may.
Do I know anybody's kinks in bed?
Think you know the god of slaughters.
Yeah.
I would think I would know at least the Devas, but do I know anybody else's?
She's definitely a bottom, right? Come on, God of Slaughter is 100% a power bottom.
A power
He pushes back. Yes, and the most powerful of bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
Can I order? I'm gonna order the power bottom to go home.
Right.
Because as much as Cassidy is the badass and everything, I'm still the dumb here. And Dom says go home. You're going home. Right.
We'll stack that onto the queue. Clive, do you have an action?
Oh yes. Clive is having the best day ever. He just saw beauty given manifested. Everyone's making deals with him. He's unshackled. And it's just like if Pinhead was having their own personal Christmas. I am at this point, there's blood raining from the sky. There's just the broadest of hellacious grins as he is seeing these and going, "Oh, you poor unfortunate souls, you think you're artists. I have seen beauty today. Let me show you a glimpse." And is just going to rush forth with all the infernal glee and power unleashed in him, his old ways now just there, and finding every last nerve in what is still human about these forms and gnawing, twisting, bending, snapping, shattering, so that they can experience every millisecond of agony possible.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll get you queued up on that. So let's start on the stack with Zelek. You are operating at a -1 potential at this juncture.
Yeah. My horns are out, so we got that going.
All right, that puts you at 0.
Yep. As far as my tags go, this is a strength check. So I'm automatically, because I'm physically going after her. My whole idea is grabbing her by the throat and dragging her into my domain, which is the crust of the earth. And not letting her go. Because what's good electricity when it can't conduct? That's his mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will spend the extra shard in case it was impossible to make it possible. And as far as my tags go, I got powerful, imposing, unsurpassed stamina to keep her held down, and chaos because I'm dragging her down.
Okay. That puts you at pot of 4, so D10 2D8.
All right, D10 and 2D8. So that's 10, 8, and an 8. 2 8s and a 5. An 8 on the 8, an 8 on the 10, and a 5 on an 8.
Okay. There's 2 different ways to look at this.
Mm-hmm.
There's Zelek and Cassidy clashing in a brutal fist fight. The first couple of hits shatter the concrete around them from the impact.
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't clear. I'm not going at her with my fist. I'm going at her with my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna grab her by the throat with my face and drag her down.
Yeah, okay. So the impact
Behold the
blows.
love language.
Yes.
Yeah. The impact is enough to shatter the concrete even before you sink into the ground. And the other way to look at this is the lightning, the form of the 2 dragons clashing just above, not physically above, but in a space above you, is catastrophic to the point of causing earthquakes and thunder to resonate around you. And the 2 of you sink into the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Violet.
Yes.
You are operating at a -2 because he super duper wants to be here.
Okay.
The slaughter guy wants to be here.
So
I
how are you
believe
gonna...
in you, Violet. You're too hot. You can do it.
Yeah,
You're
he's trying
so
to
hot.
paddle that boy for not being a good bottom.
Isn't that sort of
the name of
the
the
purpose right now?
And then but in the name of the moon, you have to punish him.
That is true. In the name of the moon, I do have to punish you.
Show that brat who's boss.
Get him. Is that your platform? Yeah, get him.
Yeah.
So, Violet's gonna look at him and raise her eyebrows slightly. She's gonna be like, "Really? You really want to be here right now?
Super do.
Super do, huh?
He clearly very much wants to be here. So how are you gonna how are you gonna put this guy down?
Good boys listen to their mistresses, and mistress says, go home. if you go home now, later, I'll allow you all the violence you could ever possibly imagine. But you gotta leave now.
All
right. Let's
Twice
see.
as much violence as today. Sorry.
Let's see that roll.
What skills does Violet have? Out of curiosity.
Well, I have evokes love,
Ooh.
beautiful portrayal, alluring body,
Damn.
shameless approach.
Yeah.
What gender is the
Saffron Blitzkrieg Mahatma Genocide?
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Okay.
However,
just
could you
checking.
guess?
I'm
We're
just
up
checking.
to we're up to now because we negated the -2.
Yeah.
So
Raccoons don't have genders, Andrew.
sure we don't. We're just little trash goblins. There's no actual genders.
I'm going to argue an acclaimed connoisseur of BDSM.
Yes.
Specifically the S part in
Yes.
this context, yeah.
Chop his dick off.
I don't think there's a way that I could argue favors intimate parties, as this is not necessarily an intimate party.
It's
As it
neither
is in
intimate
public.
nor a party, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean-
so I think that's
Just to Clive it is. I don't know.
it.
Yeah, Clive is in the background doing his best Dante from Devil May Cry impression. He's this party's getting crazy. Let's
Violet, please stab him in the dick. I need you to live your theme song and just chonk him in the pee-pee.
Hi, these are mature themes. Dick
I think
stabbing.
that's 3.
All right, so 3d8.
3d8.
Yep.
Uh, 7, 1, and 2.
Ooh. A 1, you say.
I do say a 1.
A 1, you says. Yes. All right. I'll mark that.
Could use a reroll.
We do
Can't
have a
use
reroll.
reroll.
Use the reroll.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use the
reroll.
reroll.
Yes.
Do it.
I got
Beat
a
'em up,
6.
beat 'em up.
So you bumping it up to 2 successes?
I am.
Reroll the other bad one. Reroll the other bad one. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Another 1.
Oh, yeah, never mind. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, you have a 1 in 8 chance. So, like, honestly, what are the odds?
I mean, like, Uzi plays slots. There it is.
I'll take my 2 successes.
We don't give a shit about blood quantum in here. What are you talking about? I mean,
I'm gonna give the affliction squicked because you're kind of already imagining the absolutely vile shit that's gonna go down to make this occur, and you're sort of like, oh god, that's bad. But it's minor. It's a minor affliction, so it's not that serious. You're just like, oh no, this is the worst possible outcome for all parties who are named Violet.
She didn't say she wouldn't charge him.
That's how you get them. That's how you the first sample's free. Clive, who are you going to take on?
That's the thing about the warrior. I will take on whatever's left. I can't be outnumbered.
All right, so Triumph and Ozymandias. Devil in an angle.
And I will, before engaging them, you are in clear violation of the laws of the city. Which gives me a
Shakily
plus-
writes them.
which, because of Executioner, gives me a +2.
Yeah, technically. You
Just
also
to
get
start with.
Sorry.
throw an additional
I just-
+1 on there for that really amazing description, by the way.
So,
I'm sorry. I just imagine Clive writing a citation, like somebody who's been parked illegally, and they're like, "You're in clear violation of parking. Makes you a ticket. To hell."
I'm certain that at one point I did that to some businessman in hell. Um, but yeah, I'm going to spend a shard for how can I make them feel true pain. Um, because I'm having a day. Uh, and we're going with knowledgeable. Yes. Tireless.
Yep.
Yes. Um, evasive. Yes.
Okay. To defend yourself.
Yeah. Ruthless. Yes. Unarmed. Yes.
I was not aware that you were spec'd to specifically stomp a mud hole in these two idiots, but go off, I guess. That puts you at 6 plus 4, I think.
To be fair, I think we did accidentally type match you because lightning and ground, water and fire, slaughter and love. You
Yeah.
just
All right, so roll them 3d10s.
Okay. Ten, 8, 6.
Becomes 10, 10, 8 with the additional overflow success.
If there is still the possibility of a prince in hell, I am he.
The camera cuts to lock and load as they're coming up, like in a jeep, the two of them strapped for bear, and they pull around the corner of the Coalescity building in this really cool power slide. Just as the rain falling onto the roof turns to blood and pieces of angel, they have horrified expressions on their faces as they watch the last of this nightmare happening. There's not a lot left, in the sense that one can't exactly kill a Defiant very easily. These two are not going to be getting back up anytime soon. There might be enough of them to mop up, literally, with like a squeegee. And as Locke jumps off the car and sort of yells up to this nightmare creature, "Are you sure you need our help?"
More's the merrier.
Okay. Underground. Cassidy is struggling for an advantage. She's not exactly doing great with her electrical abilities. Sparks are sort of disseminating into the silica and brassica of the ground around you, but they're not exactly doing anything. And her voice is too muffled by the dirt to make out what she's saying. But you, using your sort of tremor sense rather than your eyes, are able to feel her manifest a gun in her left hand.
Okay.
And frantically fire it. It misses you because she just doesn't have the leverage to really get the hit on you.
Yeah.
But all of you see the effects. All of the dirt between where you guys are and the surface vanishes. All of the rain for about 100 feet in a column into the sky vanishes. Part of a marble statue that was in the crossfire of the beam vanishes. And I don't mean vanish as though they were taken somewhere else or removed from play. I mean, instantly, all at once, and with no energy expended, they are destroyed down to the atom. There might be a few particularly hardy electrons that still exist at the very edges of the field, but the enthalpy beam from the trumpet perfectly destroys everything in its path. And when the air begins to rush back in and the rain begins to fall back into that space, there's a low trumpeting thunder as the trumpet speaks. And it gives just enough time and just enough breathing space for her to beg, stop. Not as an order, not as a command, not as anything more than just stop this.
In that moment, I would like to spin a shard and ask a question.
Sure thing.
What is Cassidy struggling to control?
Herself. She has been lied to, manipulated, gaslit, brainwashed, mimetically influenced, had her memories edited, her perception changed, and every facet of her ego messed with by the person who is in charge of this whole operation. And she just wants to fucking leave.
I won't say anything because I'm holding her by her throat. But if she wants to stop, I will help her stop.
Specifically not by killing her. She wants to live. I'm not making that mistake twice. I want to live.
But she wants to live. She wants this to stop. Okay. She'll feel like the breath of my snort as I breathe out. And more than my horns are out, like my scales are out. My form is forming because I am going to continue my assault with her and her gun. And I am going to earth swim all the way to the mountain because my intent is we're going to Lord of the Rings this shit. We're going to throw the trumpet into the fire.
I will put a kibosh on that because it can't...
It can't be destroyed?
It's an artifact made by God, and that's bound to one of his archangels. So the only way to destroy it is to kill the archangel that it's attached to.
Okay.
But they can steal it, though, right? Or, like, take it, because it's a weapon.
So the way the bound works is that it's different for every bound weapon. In this case, when God created the trumpets, the decree was they may only be used by the hand of an archangel.
Cool. I'm gonna bite
her. Just take his hand.
I'm gonna bite her.
Just take his hand.
I'm gonna bite her hand off. I'm gonna bite, and just to be safe, I'm gonna bite both of her hands off.
You only need to do one.
I'm just doing it.
It's nice to have a spare.
Okay.
I don't know how many archangel hands she has.
Look, we crunchy in this house. Leviathans like to eat.
Zelik, you know exactly how this, like, where this hand was attached because it's the scar that you saw when you were in bed with her. Yeah. So I will give you. Are you taking both her hands? Are you disarming her?
I will take the hand that shoots the trumpet. I'm going. I'm going to sort of straighten out. Like my mouth will like release her throat, and I will trace my finger underneath her jawline, and it's like, don't worry, it's all about to stop. and I'm not even gonna bite it off. I'm going to tear it off.
There is no resistance.
Okay.
She just goes, kick his ass before she passes out.
Yeah.
The hand separates cleanly.
Mm-hmm. And like I catch her, like. Mm-hmm.
The bound weapon manifests unto you as long as you have the hand of the archangel. So give yourself. I have to look up the name. I think it was Victory was the 7th one, right? That was the one that Gabriel had.
And so, is it a matter destroyer?
It is an enthalpy beam, which means that whatever you point it at gets obliterated on an atomic scale out in a cone about 100 feet away from you and about 10 feet wide. Because that's the only thing that can unmake God's creations is perfect enthalpy.
And I think with is this now a part of my priceless collection / supernatural goods?
No, it's a trait.
It's a trait. Gotcha.
So you have the trait of Conquest, the second trumpet.
Okay, Conquest, the second trumpet. And I think with that, so that I have access to my hands, I will swallow the hand and the trumpet so that this can now become a breath weapon.
Okay, so when you speak.
No, when I shoot my breath weapon.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like instead of the trumpet speaking, it's you speaking.
Yeah, and very, like, hopefully it's not just, like, every time I talk.
No. You have to choose to activate the trumpet.
Gotcha.
Choose to activate the trumpet.
Question, does that mean you could jazz someone to death?
Yes.
Like, yes! That's so good.
It is just getting up to the midway point, and I think that's a good pausing spot.
Cool.
So let's go ahead and grab bio if that's cool, everyone.
Absolutely. We will see you all in about 5 to 10 minutes. And we are back to the finale.
Surprise!
Defiant.
Due to some scheduling constraints, we're going to go ahead and extend this episode a little bit and wrap up the story. So let's pick up where we left off. In nothingness, there is Uzi. What do you want from Null?
Do you want to exist?
It doesn't. I mean, its very nature is agony and anathema to it.
What are you willing to do to not exist?
It can't do anything. It is functionally at the whims of the one that is summoning it. It has no agency of its own because it's nothing. It doesn't want to be here.
Then I suppose I could swallow you.
Huh.
I already feel like nothing all the time anyway. What's the worst that could happen?
All right.
I'm gonna change forms.
Okay, that's a pot of one.
Because I'm not gonna try to swallow everything.
You're swallowing nothing.
Let's see. All right, I can't use. I already asked what a breach in its defensive is. Let me see. Oh no, that's a problem.
What's up?
I can't use one of my moves, I think,
Why not?
because it's my horns.
Yeah, those are gone.
Sweet. God. Let's see. So I have one for primordial for my dragon form. I'm resistant to pain, so they should be fine from that perspective. I kind of want to try to use Hermetic Legacy to appeal, like, I want to match my nothingness with their nothingness, if that makes any sense.
That's fine.
And heads
Yeah.
up, mechanically, can you not spin shards to also raise your dice pool?
Yes, you can spend a shard to add an additional D8.
I want to do that too.
Okay, so roll
All right.
4d8, and we'll see what happens.
Use those resources.
Actually, don't announce what the score is. Just type it out to me in private. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we'll come back to you.
Yes. Go ahead, move on to other people, and I'll send it out to you. I got to pull up the dicey roller anyway.
Zelik,
Mm-hmm.
as you and the Violet and Clive are walking up the stairs, Lock and Load are already ahead of you. They've charged into the lobby and are basically taking turns covering each other and firing onto the Defiant low-born guards that make up the place. And what's shocking to you is twofold. One, their bullets are actually doing something. And two, the way that they're fighting shouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing John Woo shit. They are doing Yakuza Heat moves. They are busting out mad, like, wrestling moves, kipping each other into the air and doing rainstorms and table hops and enemy hikes on these lowborns. And it's working.
I have this huge chaotic grin on my face, just like, yes, I knew being their friends would pay off.
And just as the three of you are walking in and you're seeing this, you notice just over Diana's shoulder, for the briefest second, the glint of the camera lens.
The camera lens? Of the camera for the show?
Yes, the out of universe camera that we are using to display this, you see that for a split second, and you can look straight down the barrel.
How do I destroy it?
I am going to say the only way that you would be able to destroy the higher level narrative is to stop playing the game right now and walk away.
Oof.
I still spent that shard though, eh?
Yeah, I'll refund it.
Okay.
It's technically that's a plot thing.
Oh, okay. So, kind of like staring at that instead, I'm going to sort of look around at the mayhem and the chaos, and chaos is one of my tags, and I'll ask a different question. Who here in this building fears me? Fears me finding them? Fears me stopping this?
Uh-huh. LeMay.
Who is LeMay?
The Hierophant. The only one with the power to create from nothingness. The only one strong enough with the means, motive, and opportunity to do this summoning ritual without being caught. The only one stupid enough to give a gun a conscience. LeMay Andronicus, the Hierophant.
This is gonna be so good. Second apocalypse, fourth apocalypse, 10th apocalypse. I love major extinction events. They're always so fun. I'm gonna turn and look at my companions. Hierophant. I'm gonna go fuck them up. And I am leaping bounds up to where the Hierophant's likes to hang the fuck out.
All right. What about Violet and Clive?
Want to go murder some Deva, Clive?
I have a deep and new concern. If Zelik is successful, that could cause a cascade failure. Someone has to be able to step in as Hierophant.
I mean, yeah, but we can always deal with that after we murder people.
No, that's kind of simultaneous with the Zelik succeeding thing.
It's one Zelik versus the Hierophant and all of the Hierophant's guards. I think we got some time.
You're just always so hopeful. Like there is such venom. I cannot push it forward in my own voice. And hope is almost like a word that is searing on his lips. Like, hates this.
So
The best part about being me is love always wins.
Ah, that's so fucking cute. You hear that from really high up the stairwell. Y'all are really loud.
Two things happen very, very close to one another. One of the elevator doors opens and a wash of blood pours out.
Ooh,
along with two figures. One of them is based on the horns, a Leviathan that appears to have been exploded from the inside out. His gristle and his chest is spread open. It's been gored to death. And the second form falls on top of him, panting. Coated in blood, it looks up and meets your eyes, Clive. and wiping off her face and raising the ballpoint pen she just used, Saint Maul Pentacles goes, "That's 17, Bradley."
Suggest you find someplace quiet. And right now, there's more murders that need to be conducted. One to stop the moon, well, to move the moon again in the right place, and the other one to stop reality from ending.
If you can get me something more than this pen, I can help you out.
Yeah, sure. I think I will just like from the I know precisely what to give you. Give me 1 second. I go back out to where I rent an angel asunder. I am going to take the femur. I am going to crack it so that it is a sharp, pointy stick and go, this should do.
Oh God.
Yes. Bone
Traumatized.
sticks.
So traumatized.
I have to be blasphemous about this.
Absolutely.
Saint it, like wipes off her face to get most of the blood out of her mouth and eyes. Because Andronicus made me cut off that fucking Archangel's hands. I was only able to get out when they were distracted by the fighting.
Which angel's hands?
The angel that was wielding the second trumpet.
So somebody else is collecting trumpets and hands, huh?
Well, LeMay made Mal do it. Yeah, so
it made Saint Germain do it. Okay, that makes sense. Seems like LeMay has gone a little off in the head and wants to, end existence. We're going to try and stop it.
Distantly a bell rings. It's time to bring Uzi back.
Okay. Excuse me. I have to go rent reality a new asshole. Oh.
Man, I love giving the same answer to multiple different private questions. Chaos.
So Clive just goes, Saint Germain, I think there's something that we can agree upon. You want me to fix this, yes?
Emphatically.
Good. I'll be right back. With that agreement, I'm going to go and retrieve Uzi.
All right. Uzi pops back up next to Bradley.
You have been retrieved.
Thanks. So Uzi looks pretty much the same, except two things are different. One, Uzi finally has horns, which is exciting. And he has one just giant curved swirl horn. It's kind of like here that semi-blocks his vision. And it's like Vanta Black tier uncomfortable to look at. And I want to say they seem uncanny valley in their tall soonness now. Like, it's almost like the muffin tin that's about to, like the dough tin that's about to burst. Kind of uncanny. Anything important happened while I was away?
Reality is not what we think it is. The Hierophant needs to die. We need to install someone as the new Hierophant before Zelik is finished killing the Hierophant. There's still gods that need to be murdered, and there are tons of people here who can just kill Defiant.
Delightful. What do you want to do first?
I think Violent was trying to persuade us to go kill gods.
That
I
sounds
would
fun.
recommend, as the narrator, that you probably want to go after the Hierophant.
However, my brother is engaging in a different discourse. And what kind of sibling would I be if I didn't want to play with him?
Fair enough.
Uzi's just gonna walk towards where they know the Hierophant is, and they're So Uzi fought in the first angelic, like the war, and his armor is just gonna appear slowly as he walks, and it's like an inky, ocean-like scaled, like Gothic Renaissance-esque designing on it of armor. Zillick, I've come to play.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I disassociation hits sometimes. So you're back looking. I'm actually I've been scaling the inside to go to the Hierophant. So you just see me stop, pause, look down. It's like, you look fucking dope. Like, just like giving you so much encouragement. It's like,
So
I got
I'm
a
gonna
gun in
smile.
my face now.
I reach back and out of nothing just kind of throw what just looks at speed like metal at Zillick, and it's part of his armor from when we used to do the war together.
Oh yes. Give it to me.
Well then.
That is
Going
in
up.
character. I literally just jump into it.
I guess we're gonna go find a Hierophant.
Yeah, it's made of fucking diamonds, bitch.
Excuse me, diamonds?
It's made of diamonds.
I've heard they're the girl's best friend.
Your butt.
Well, they're definitely my best friend. So count me in.
Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hopefully will be facing off this Hierophant pretty soon. While y'all were doing all y'all stuff, I'm just going up. Going up.
Yeah.
Hey, you should
Same.
find a candidate to become the Hierophant while you're down there talking.
I'm gonna take over here.
Okay.
Just to bring everyone to the
sure.
same place. You charge off. The camera cuts, and the four of you, through your own means, enter the hallway that leads to Cassandra's hymn, the scrying pool that lets you see out of the outside of the seraphim. And as you walk as you go, the white marble of the hall begins to sort of fall away into this large, infinite white void that slowly starts to reconstitute itself as the shimmering pool in the middle of a vast field filled with white flowers, and above it is the eclipse bleeding nothingness down into the pool. And standing before this blasphemous ritual, stars whirling above, some of them going out as nothingness begins to crash down. LeMay turns and folds his hands. Our promise was to protect these people. And I have failed. Our promise was to serve God. And I have failed. Now I am promising palliative care. We can't win this. We've already lost 4 other cities. We can't stop the end of time from coming. So I am giving these people the opportunity to live in some way before Null comes and wipes away God's greatest mistake. Each of you made a promise to kill for this. And each of you made a promise to die for this. It is the beast we worship. And now, unless any of you are willing to walk away, I'm going to have to make you keep that promise. And as his wings spread behind him, like breaking glass in the air, shattering it into this slowly moving mirror or distortion, he manifests 2 blades. Originally, when LeMay was created, he was given the blade Repentance, but he changed it to Rebellion when he sided against God. And now this wicked 4-foot-long knife, basically, is rended through with enthalpic bands of nothingness. And you instantly know, in the way that these things are known, that this is now Rebellion de Alate Final Act, Gotterdammerung. What's more concerning is the other blade he summons, which is Revelation. Revelation is not a magic blade. It isn't particularly ornate or extraneous. It's a big, sharp hunk of metal. In fact, it is so not special that it loops around to being real.
Yeah.
There's no subjective interpretation of Revolution, no ambiguity in its form, function, or identity. The universe rotates around Revelation as a narrative fulcrum. Revelation is not acted upon except by proxy. When used, it acts, hewing through perception, filtering to bare bones, inarguable truth. Revelation cannot be ignored, denied, belittled, dismissed, or forced into change. It is the immovable object. Which means that for partially thought-formed manifestations bound in highly interpreted physical marionettes, this thing is a fucking death sentence. It doesn't cut your flesh, it cuts away your personal narrative, the continuity of morphogenic identity built on semiotic superego pointers. In other words, you don't get stabbed by this, it cuts away your traits.
Mm-hmm.
And this means that Michael is still alive because Revelation was bound to him. And he says, will you do nothing and let us all die peacefully?
Where did you get that blade?
You know where he got it.
I want to hear it first. Where did you get that blade?
There we go. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm just going to leave this open now.
Mm-hmm.
He says Michael would have stopped this if he knew. And there was no way for me to hide it from him.
Did you eat him?
No.
I want to spin a shard.
Okay.
What are they trying to hide?
Good one.
he's trying to put on a brave face. He has genuinely tried everything he can conceive of to stop the encroaching nature of entropy and to make things at least palatable or bearable for the people who remain. And he has completely run out of ideas. At this point, it's better to just smother them and let them die in their sleep than it is to let them suffer any longer. The Birchman and the the Birchman and the Zero meme that's turning people into horsemen will let humanity survive the apocalypse for long enough that Null can eat time and unmake all of this. He's not wrong, and he knows he's not wrong.
Tell me, what makes them worth more than us? More than Rise? The humans.
Oh.
We have sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed. And your plan is to let them live, buried in the corpses of our own. No, thank you.
And so be it. He's fast. In fact, he's almost fast enough that he's jumping between frames. Mm-hmm. He's there in front of you now. Blades flashing, nothingness cutting through the air, attempting to carve each of you apart. And these moves are not, everyone who has martial training, these moves are not meant to maim or wound or hinder. These are kill shots. He's looking to put you down with as little pain as he can possibly manage. Mm-hmm. So let's start with Clive.
So, I have a very particular bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Meta-narrative causality.
All right.
I'm declaring I'm more important than him.
Okay. All right. We'll circle around to that. Violet. Let's see Le Grand Morte. What do you say?
That is a good question. What do I say? I'm just looking over my little sheet here. How does the Jeopardy theme go again?
Hey, that is not
a nice.
I could actually probably get sued for that. Like, not sued, but
less than 5 seconds were good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and there was no way we were on tune.
Oh. And I think if it's an adaptation, so if it was church choir style, we could totally get away with it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a cappella.
I was in choir.
Yeah.
Best way to do it is kazoos.
That is true. The only thing that I have that could possibly help me in this is familiarity with mimetic influences. But I, out of character, do not understand mimetic influences enough to be able to use that appropriately. So I'm going to use my call a friend, and then I'm going to get the DM to tell me what the fuck that means.
Basically, ideas that infect like viruses are memes. So if he was being controlled or otherwise influenced by a non-physical entity, he would effectively be victim of a mimetic influence. I would suggest, for what it's worth, work to distract him and hand a pot one to somebody else.
That sounds like a good idea. And
Yes.
what?
I just yelled titties. It's always the best.
That was where I was going with this. So thank you for reading my mind.
Of course.
And I'm going to very quickly and sexily just sort of rearrange my titties so that they are in perfect cleavage stuff, and be like, but wait, please don't kill me yet.
So you're sort of playing on the angel here.
Yeah.
All right, Val.
Me?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
Well, I was literally just gonna wait until he was right into my face and burp on him.
All right.
With you know what. I have some pretty good physical defenses because I do have my diamond scales. So that would possibly maybe protect. I'm kind of hoping that kind of protects me from the first blow to be eaten. If I do get, like, I am actually willing to take blows and destroy some of my traits in order to be better positioned to use the trumpet legitimately in his face.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Especially those priceless collections in supernatural goods. I mean, like that's a big deal for me. Okay.
So what traits are you going to use to attack? You're getting
to attack.
To do your action. I apologize.
To do my action.
Yeah.
I will use horns because I'm using every power in my draconic way to do this. Diamond scales to protect myself, my power, my chaos, and my unsurpassed stamina.
Okay, so you're gonna go at him with a 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And then Uzi. What do you want to do? You're being attacked by the Hierophants.
Honestly, I think I mean this in the nicest way possible. Home dude just told me he murked someone I was interested in a romantic level and was going to kill us all. My mom, my brother, every person I care about for the ants. And I'm mad now. I'm head empty, bash motherfucker in. So I'm swinging with everything I got physical form wise.
Okay.
It's gonna be
everything.
Sorry, it's gonna be 6 for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the actual trumpet.
Got it.
So sorry. I do have the Aegis though. So I guess I'm going to attempt to try to protect people. You know, like the tanks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're gonna proc your Aegis before they get hit. Okay. So let's start with Violet. Who are you giving your +1 to? We already know Val's got a 6 going, and I think Clive is going to be in the 3 or 4s.
It's Clive then.
No, we're gonna go hard with this because I have a reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll give it to Clive.
Because understanding the camera now, and in those flickers of moments, I am meeting him eye to eye, the blade ever so close. You have failed yourself. You have failed this city. You have sinned against God and man. You are not a hero. You are not the villain. You're an origin story.
Dang, son.
And this
Rip
is
him up.
your hand.
Holy shit.
And
Daddy?
what
Sorry.
I'm attempting to do is grab the hand of revelation as everything swings around this point. And
Okay.
I am just going to try and turn the sword on its wielder.
All right. So, let's get your die pool ready.
Okay. So with that, the +2, because he is guilty.
I mean, yeah, in like the legal sense of the term, he has
That's all
committed
all that Clive
Oh.
matters.
That's all
crime.
that's all that
He's
matters to me.
technically correct,
Yes.
which is the best kind
Hey,
of correct.
he's gonna
Yeah.
hit a lady. So like,
That's not illegal anymore.
I mean,
it
there are
still makes
flaws,
you
though.
guilty.
That is true,
Don't
yeah.
hit pretty ladies.
Especially pretty ladies.
2, knowledgeable, tireless. I'm going to say stealthy because I don't think he expected this. Evasive, ruthless, because yes. And I think my will is stronger than his.
Okay. So
So many D10s. Do we go up to 12s in this game?
it's only D10s.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, LeMay has his own attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Violet gave me a +1, so we're back at 9.
Back at 9. Spin shards, buy more dice, bump them up.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. So subtract 1 for his executor. He already tried the nihilism. That didn't work. So you're operating in an 8, and Val, you're at a 6.
Yeah, I'm at a 6.
Okay.
I am spinning
Spin
a
a
shard.
shard.
Mhm.
Yeah, spin a shard for the D8.
Okay. So it sounds like Clive, you're at 3d10, 1d8, and Val, I think you're at 4d8.
I'm at 3d10 because you started at 6, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So
Yeah.
3d10, 1d8. So you're
Yeah,
both
1d8.
operating on the
Yeah.
same pool. Yeah.
The only
Sorry.
thing that Zellic has to say to add on to that is I like just go above Clive to like scream. It's like talk shit, get hit. like as you know, I'm gonna let Clive do his thing first, and then the dramatic roll happens in this guy's face. No.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay. It went wrong. It sounded like it went wrong.
I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in chat.
That sounds
What?
like things. There are re-rolls, remember.
I'm not gonna need to reroll.
We got 4 of those left.
It's okay. We're alright. Talk shit, get hit. Fuck around and find out. I love seeing this.
I think the dice are trolling all of us because I think this was overly appropriate.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get? 3 6s?
No. I got 3 7s and a 9.
Nice.
Lucky boy. Coming out of hell swinging. So that's 4 successes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's 8 successes.
It's 8 successes. Good
It's
job.
8 successes. Yeah.
Holy cow.
I'll just. It's 8. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in Defiant.
I need to see this now.
Mm.
Oh, damn. The narrative said, you screwed.
I mean, LeMay has been fighting legitimately since the beginning of time.
Yeah, sure. But, you know.
And Yeah, his combat skills are matched only by like 3 other people in existence. So every action is at least reacted to quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The movement of Violet out of the corner of his eye gives him just enough pause that Clive's words begin to resonate. The blade, the blade revelation catching in Clive's palm and biting into it down to the bone, only being stopped by the core of your own morphogenic idea of yourself. And then the dragon speaks.
You know that sound that started with Inception of just that giant tuba? And
Yeah.
like it's like talk shit, get whoa. That's what happened.
There is a swath of annihilation behind him. In fact, he still takes a massive hit. Mm-hmm. But there's a him outline of matter behind him. Mm-hmm. And he's still kicking. He's still coming after you. He's still alive. So I'm going to mute for 2 seconds and go talk to Uzi. And we'll be right back.
Secrets. In-game secrets. This happens when you're in the same building.
Yeah, but
secret. It's been going on in chat the whole time. Yeah.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Mute yourself.
I trust you, bro.
Make sure you're muted so we don't hear your secret.
Oh. Okay.
God damn it! I gotta pee.
Go pee. I don't know about you folks, but I am having an absolute blast as I have gotten to just be my most infernal self, which is so freeing.
This is so much fun.
I haven't gotten to be like just there's being evil and then there's being righteous yet evil. It's entirely different.
Val's taking a pee-pee.
Oh, a pee-pee. The excitement pee.
Yes, it's my favorite pee.
Wait, when you fire a trumpet, you gotta go.
You gotta go. Yeah. That was the first thing all the angels did when they finished blowing the trumpets. Was like they ran to the bathroom.
I can't blame them. Like,
oh no, they didn't run to the bathroom. They created what's the Dead Sea? Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
The salty, suspicious oceans part.
Oh, I see what's going on. Every time my camera glitches out and I instant transmission, my audio, my microphone volume gets reset.
Well, try and keep your DBZ-ness under control.
It's pretty anime right now, Pope. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, yeah, I'm experiencing camera cuts. Like we're in between seconds where I am taunting this angel.
You're taunting him in the stopped time. Can you stop this infernal experience, Requiem? What is the nature of this stand? Oh, my friend, have either of you two watched The Polar Express? Yeah, that creepy old CG movie.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I hate Christmas.
My godsons are obsessed with it, and my friend and I have determined that the guy in charge of the train is the stand master, and the train is the stand, and the faster it approaches, like the faster it goes, the slower time is. Which is how it's able to get to the North Pole with 5 minutes to midnight over the course of like 8 hours.
I'm sorry. LeVay gave that speech, and all I could think of was that moment in Final Fantasy where Sephiroth gives his speech to Cloud, and he's like, "We're gonna ride the dead husk of your planet." Like it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Lord.
So is it? Is that what's happening right now? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The choir is the non-diegetic choir is going absolutely ballistic in the background. Organs are on fire behind the soundtrack here. Trumpets going crazy. The brass section. Yeah.
Some Nobuya Uematsu bullshit going on. I'm here for it.
Yeah. The conductor has pulled out a cannon. We don't know where this is going to go, but we're all very excited. Yo, boy, what do you play? I'm in the 4th Artillery Division.
Actually, in Mozart, in Beethoven, it's Beethoven or Mozart. There were actual cannons in their original works, which is the sickest shit to me. Tchaikovsky, yes.
Yeah, Tchaikovsky, yes.
You gotta love those Russians.
Look, you gotta be pimp. If you live someplace really cold, you get real eccentric. No.
Tchaikovsky was the extra queer of his time, because he was gay, and it was just like, you know what, what my symphony needs?
Cannons.
Fucking cannons.
So
that is some queer energy. Is cannons always queer? The more explosives. Like, I'm here for it.
So we have sword lesbians and queer cannons.
Yes.
The hit of the trumpet is enough to throw LeMay off balance. I'm going to finish him off because you only need 2 successes to kill him at this point. And you 2 nuked him with a combo of 4 successes, which is absurd.
The big boys came in and got big. Is what happened. We do good.
He had 10 hit points. You dealt 8 hit points worth of damage in 1 strike.
Yeah. He's
reeling. He's now open to get hit. So I believe Clive, you were going to run him through.
Just take Revelation, and it's very much because I want to get this as visceral and as horrifying as possible. That Saving Private Ryan moment where they're struggling with the combat knife, and it's just shh as the blade reaches his throat and just pushes through.
There's no last words. There's no dying speech. There's not even particularly any malice or anger in his eyes as they slowly turn glassy and unfocused. He just, in Clive's arms, slowly lies back and settles into the flowers, the blade Revelation pinning him to the ground. And then I have to ask a question out of game. In your heart of hearts, after everything you've seen and done and fought for and explored in your characters so far, are any of you strong enough, skilled enough, and selfless enough to become the Hierophant?
No. I think skill enough, strong enough is a different thing. Selfish enough? No.
Can any of you honestly say you would be willing to lay down everything you've worked for and fought for, every part of your identity that has drug you to this point? Can you honestly say that you're willing to take that spark and shoulder that responsibility?
Uzi?
Because
no, it's not Uzi. I know.
Do you know someone who's...
This is right now. There is no
In
other.
this moment, yeah. No, in this moment,
The devil
no.
on our shoulder.
No.
It's the devil on our shoulder, guys. Clive.
I mean, I really like power.
Yes, but this would be a divorcement of self.
Mm.
You're not
Be human.
ever going to feel that pleasure again. You're not ever going to feel the love of people. You're going to be where the buck stops. And nobody will appreciate the work you do. And nobody will appreciate the sacrifice you make here.
They
I
already
mean,
don't.
does anybody ever really appreciate love?
I appreciate love. I divorced my wife because she didn't.
You can't be rich anymore. It's like becoming a monk. No fucking, no richness, no nothing.
So between literally a hedonistic utopia or a functional authoritarianism, who's going to guide this city?
We
Y'all
were
can
made
always
for
play
Clive.
right. Y'all can always play rollies for it.
Fairy, if you want it.
Rock, paper, scissors over it?
Like, no. If you really think Violet wants it,
Do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely do,
do
it.
it.
I mean, I could easily make the argument that it would be
You do crazy things for love.
You do crazy things
Yeah.
for love.
that
Wow.
she loves the city so much that she would go off and then
Sold.
take it so that she could do the whole thing.
Sold. Hedonistic utopia.
Clive loves
Sold.
me. I mean, also, love is the most flexible of the emotions when you consider,
Well,
like,
love
love
is the
is
most
kind,
dangerous
love
thing.
is, yeah.
Sold.
I mean,
Sold.
but the seraphim is the most dangerous thing here anyway.
Fucking sold.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
it,
going to
Mama.
take over. Yep, I'm going to take over for a little bit, and then we'll get into the denouement. Violet's entire being alters, not on a practical level or a physical one, but on a meta-narrative one. There's a certain something that changes about her. She becomes radiant, more perfect, more divine, more real than anyone else. And then she's gone. And above you, Null slowly begins to leak in. And Uzi, their purpose finally made known, unfolds. Their draconic form is no longer their own. Basically, they have been totally subsumed by Null, and only their willingness and their force of identity is what kept them here for so long. The dragon that is Null is majestic and powerful and infinite. And it reaches up, and as the nothingness pours through the eclipse, it simply closes its hand around that darkness, and it all goes black. Clive and Zellick stand in the room with Cassandra's voice, looking down into the scrying pool that shows the outside world. And what you see is nothing. The end. And now we're going to get into the epilogue. Trump Boy changes over the next few days. There's a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of people sort of vying for power, bickering between one another, trying to see who and where they are in the ashes. But for what it's worth, and at the end of the day, the bad guys lost and the good guys won. Violet, what do you change about this city?
That is a good question. We have a document with a list of laws, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me find the document.
I'll give you the link.
Okie dokie, that works too.
And it should be bound by tradition and trouble. Words.
I'm listening to music as I'm going through the thingies.
Yeah, no, the staring it and in the mirror and seeing the nothingness. I'm hearing "Oh Death" by Noah Gunderson. Like just that mournful violin and a slow strum of guitar as there is just darkness.
Oh no, I lost it again.
Let me look at my Defiant playlist. What am I listening to? I can't actually play anything on stream because all of it just goes into the same line and I can't listen to music.
But now you know why I chose Killing Loneliness.
Yeah, so good.
You got them, Violet? All right, so what you doing? How does
First of all, I'm going to get rid of number 9, which says no mortal may practice magic without the express supervision of Defiant, because I think that will be fun. A bit of chaos. And also, I'm a deva. I want more magic.
So are you changing the city's nature to be more magical?
Yes.
All right.
That is what I am doing. When you put it like that, it sounds even better.
Yeah. I mean, you have complete control over both the physical and the metaphysical here.
Well, now that brings up a whole other...
I have a question.
I am just picturing a roaring 20s.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Jazz everywhere, a bit of cops and robbers, but there's magic.
Yep.
Like,
Is this literally turning into
like
Deadlands
there's going to be a
Noir?
very heavy Chicago sort of feel to this.
I'm getting new Capenna.
I was thinking the Palace of
NPG
Versailles
vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just queuing up right now old money and
Art Deco.
Rivets and kneecaps built this city.
Love crime.
Like
I was totally thinking Palace of Versailles for the Celesti building. Like that level of opulent gold.
Yeah, just
that's like very similar to the old Greek styling, you know?
Full on Art Deco.
Fuck yeah, Art Deco. I'm always here.
Nice.
Dripping gowns.
Kind of want now a Versailles meets what is that damn book
Tiffany
that had Leonardo DiCaprio in it that was set in the 20s? Great Gatsby.
Right.
Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want a mix of the Versailles and the Great Gatsby to be the new Celesti building.
Oh.
Make it so, DM.
It is so. I mean, your word is law, literally. Clive.
Yeah.
You've been busy. You've been real busy. What have you been real busy doing?
Having those moments to let loose and seeing everything that he accomplished, but also at the same time, what hell hath wrought. It's been a lot of meetings with the Breakfast Crew. It's been a lot of working through all that meant. It's been spending time with his wife and just doing simple things. Whether it's sitting on the couch watching Jeopardy or, having friends over for cocktails and board games and things that are far more mundane as the city finds itself. And once things begin to settle, it's seeing the playing field and deciding that he needed to change hats. He's no good at being a judge, but he is awfully good at being a crime boss.
In your office, the film changing from the 16:9 high def widescreen to this more square, letterboxed, like grainier physical medium. The actual texture of the city has changed under Violet's will. Colors are brighter, more vibrant. Shadows are darker. Heat is hotter and wetter. And seemingly in her element, Rebecca has come to life as an eager and very capable assistant. And she comes to you on this dreary, rainy afternoon, because so many afternoons now are dreary and rainy, often backed by trumpet songs, with a file. And she says, I was looking into how LeMay set up those zero aliases because it was really bothering me. From what I can gather, he only used a little of his memory editing stuff. The vast majority of all of this is just backdated paperwork and inattentive clerks. I was looking over the files to sort of put a bow on this, and I don't know exactly what I noticed, but it's sort of, there's this commonality of phrasing. There's this tone the text takes. Oh, and the insistence on using the Queen's English spelling of Clure with a U. That stuck out. So I did some digging and I rabbit holed and I came out on the other side. All of these, she holds up this stack of papers, reports, newspaper articles, research papers, they're all written by this one guy. And he's got some serious chops about a lot of subjects, but one of his biggest papers focuses on, she sort of flips through, targeted parasocial media generation and retrocognitive alteration. I think it's some kind of propaganda, and I'm not talking about when I get a really good look at something. I looked this guy up in our records and I couldn't find anything. And I ran an information request up to the palace and they sent me this. And she tosses down this almost completely blanked piece of paper with 2 uncensored phrases on it. And the first one sends a dark chill down your spine before she even finishes asking her question. It's a file that's so heavily classified and redacted, I can only find these 2 things. It doesn't mean anything to me, but you're in the know. Maybe it means something to you. What's the 51st state? And who's Francis Kane?
Puerto Rico.
I'm
sorry.
That's for Poe.
I'm sorry, I had to do that.
You're good.
We don't talk about that.
Cut to the Hierophant's desk, where a folder with the label "The 51st State" dropping down onto it. Zelik.
Oh.
It's been a rough couple of days. Uzi hasn't come back. And while your court and your friends are sort of working to keep things running as best as possible, there's this this lingering sort of bitterness, this sensation that there's this hole that's been missing, that you're only just now sort of feeling the shape of. So how have you been spending the past few days?
I think the best way that Zelik spends his few days is caring for things that are his, that are broken. So first off, he, for the time being, sets a substitute to make sure that Uzi's house is ran properly.
You're in luck. Gabriel's right there.
Yep. And leave it up to Gabriel and offer whatever Gabriel needs from his house. The other thing is he releases his angel from his service, from his house, because she has fulfilled her destiny here. And so now he has to fill that spot himself. And he fills it with 2 people, because having a god killer in case the gods decide they want to fuck around and find out again, it's not a bad idea. And then the last thing that he does, that he has been doing, is there is a Leviathan who lost her arm and could use a place to heal. And he will give it to her. Not just her arm, but her sense of agency.
Yeah, and she actually will call you. That actually leads into this final scene. She's been in and out of the palace and on the phone pretty much constantly. And finally, she takes you up to the roof with the same brand of whiskey that you brought to her place. And she sits down on this lawn chair and offers you the bottle.
Yeah, I accept it. How you been holding up?
Not great.
You know you could take a sabbatical, right?
She takes this long pull from the bottle and goes, as of about 45 minutes ago, I don't have the authorization to tell you this anymore. But I'm also the only one on a strong enough regiment of Nestics to give you the full story. What's going to happen is I have until 10 p.m. To finish my business, and then I am going to be arrested for the riots. No one remembers Zero, but they sure as hell remember all the damage that his cult caused, and it's just cleaner to pin it on me.
I'm sorry.
I know. But I have to talk to you about something really important.
Yeah.
A lot of people think the way it works is we know what we know and we know what we don't know, right? But now things are more complicated. Now we also want to know what we did know, and we have to know what we can't know. Mimetics and animimetics. And the talk around the palace was that we were going to form mimetic and anti-mimetic task forces.
I have to stop you for a second, Andrew. I'm really sorry. I don't actually know what those words mean.
A meme is an idea that infects you like a virus, and an anti-meme is a idea that is a self-keeping secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
Memes as in I want cheeseburgers memes?
Yes.
Okay.
Memes more along the lines of
I'm not gonna
Metal Gear
lie,
Solid
after
2.
9 weeks, I have finally caught on to this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually not smart enough to play with you anymore.
It's okay.
I've been lost because I just don't know what words mean.
It's okay.
It's all about we got taken down by Dogecoin.
It doesn't matter. I murked a guy in his face.
The thing is we already had a mimetic task force and an anti-mimetic task force. From what information that hasn't dissolved, the original strike team that put down Savage Lands were the ones that pushed for and got the budget to start the two. Arya's...
Just
yeah.
Speed up for me because this is going over my beautiful head.
You got it.
That is in character. It's like, please get your point, my dear.
LeMay did something to make the two teams not remember each other. Okay. And then he built two halves of the weapon to summon Zero.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had the Mimetics team kill themselves. And we think they did it before Zero even got here. We think it was self-inflicted. Estimates now is there might be enough of the original 20-person team to fit in a coffee can. Anti-mimetics is worse. We don't know what's down there, and we don't even know if it's technically alive. All we can do is wall it off and hope that it dies before it comes back up. Which brings me to you.
You want me to go check it out? Because I can physically go there.
Because you are inoculated against the Zero meme.
I am.
In fact, you're one of two people left that are inoculated against. So, Bradley. So, there's a new team that's getting put together. It's a team that's going to want to study you. And it's a team that I suggested that you lead. Oh. Because as much as you may not understand the science, you have the drive and the strength to be the head officer of the narrative and retroactive continuity service. It's an unlimited dark budget, nearly almost no oversight.
Unlimited budget. Unlimited budget. I can just like the dragon. It's like literally I can have everything for it.
This is the important part, so
anything. Sorry.
You'll have almost no oversight. You'll be responding directly to the Hierophant, and you'll be working with things that are so fucking sensitive that not even you will be allowed to know the confidential information you know. It's going to be big. It's going to be build an idea strong enough to kill a god big. There's records down there that before all of this happened, Yahweh had a partner named Minerva.
Oh, Minerva.
And it means that if that's true, we killed Minerva so hard we removed her from the meta-narrative. And we might be able to do it again.
With Yahweh.
So what do you say? You in?
Yeah, that sounds not boring. Distracted me from the fact that I haven't seen my sibling in a while. I just got a divorce. Like, I could use, my best girl left to go fulfill some destiny bullshit on another plane. I could use a little pick me up. So, there's a moment, and I would like to spin to Shard to ask a question.
Sure.
The question is, how can the authorities be bought to make sure that Cassidy is found not guilty?
If you petitioned the Hierophant, she could override the Council of Sleep. But it's going to piss off the Psalms and cause a lot of political friction.
We're just going to have to fake your death, create a new identity. How else are you supposed to come with me?
Okay.
Sounds good.
She just kind of smiles up at you with this, the first time you've ever seen a hopeful look in her eye. And she says, all right.
I cheers the bourbon bottles to end the scene.
Another file lands on the Hierophant's desk, this one titled The Beast I Worship. We
should probably check in with the Hierophant. Wonder what she's doing.
we're coming up on this.
I got paperwork.
I know. It's like, what? Keep going.
Oh my god,
you're so fucking cute.
Your meeting with your first meeting is the Hierophant after all the the introductions and meet the new boss. She's totally different. Is with Granny Ghost. And I don't remember if you were here when we talked about Granny Ghost.
I was not.
Okay. Granny Ghost is one of the oldest Deva in the city. She's the goddess of the hunt. And she is a little old lady that when she woke up and started walking towards the palace, you felt it.
Well then, if I can feel her walking up to my big building here, I'm gonna call in my my secretary, and I'm gonna tell them to go and get their favorite Granny's favorite drink and have it all ready, sitting on the table, waiting for her, and then sit back and wait for my guests to show up.
She is stupid powerful. You can feel her aura even as she sits down, like a gravitational weight on you. And she smiles and asks, were you awake during the first Age of Heroes?
I was.
And you remember the Dragon Slayers, the champions.
I do.
The
Hold on,
mortals-
whose phone is ringing?
It's mine. I'm so sorry. That's my reminder to take my pills, which I guess I'm going to have to write on my hand now. There are times, as you know, in the course of human history when they gain power, they gain strength and courage and an intangible ability to harm us. And I think it's happening again.
What gives you that idea?
Champions manifest from powerful emotions. Vengeance for Mr. Bradley's Rebecca. Pride for Zelek's Lock and Load. And love for your Gwendolyn.
What about my Gwendolyn?
She's a champion too.
Well, that's something new.
They're still mortal, though. So, I want you to think about how you're going to handle this.
You have given me much to think on, Granny. Much, much to think on.
And it cuts to the desk again with a folder on it titled "Come, Make Us Gods."
Come make us gods. Sorry. I'm a child.
Like someone definitely cheekily spelled it that way.
Oh man, do you have to fuck them and they become gods? Let's go! That's
Best job ever!
The last, we'll come back to you, Uzi. Don't you worry. You're on mute, dude.
You froze on my screen.
Oh, snap, did I? Whoa.
I still see you. Yeah.
Okay. Can you still hear me? Well, I guess you can because the cloth, yeah. Anyway, between the three that remain, did anyone tell Gabriel that Michael is still alive?
I would have. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When you became connected to the Seraphim, Violet, you sensed the other cities. You sensed the ones that Zero destroyed on his path to get here. And you can sense that there are others out there. There are other Seraphim that have been created. And having lost his husband, and having lost his court, and having lost his second chance at love, Gabriel writes a long letter to Violet saying, I'm going to go find them, in essence. And the last folder that drops onto your desk is titled, There Are Stars in That Void. And you sit down and you look at these potentials, these things to investigate. And a slow, high, whining noise picks up in the soundtrack, and it cuts to black just before you make your selection. And then there's one last post-credit scene. The very, very last one. Out there in the blasted heat that is the remainder of the United States of America is a beautiful man missing his right arm. Golden-haired, scraggly beard. Strong of heart, Michael Solbright, cast out unto this horrid place. And the camera follows him as he walks down this hillside and into a small church, blown apart by some beast, potentially millennia ago. And sitting in the church, scales, black, horn, twisted ever so slightly, sits Uzi, the new manifestation of nothing. And Michael laughs because he's so happy to see you. And there you go.
Congratulations! You did it! Yay!
You guys did it. You
We all
guys
did
did it.
it! We all did it! Excellent, wonderful, thank you. Andrew, are you
Well-
okay, bud? Look at you.
That was pretty sick, yeah. You did good!
You did so good, bud.
Guys did fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Take a breather. Pat yourself on the back. Congratulations, everyone. This is the final
That was so good.
episode. So, and ending on technically my buffer because we did delay a week. And honestly, I'm kind of glad we decided to not linger because there was so much meaning and so much heart in every word that you said today and every action that we did that it mattered. So I am happy to have given this spot and given you a try on this weird game called Defiant. It's weird. It's such a weird game. And can't wait for the future to see what I can do with all of you lovely people on my channel in August. June,
Yes,
July.
you're going sabbatical, right?
I will be around. I still have on Wednesdays, I have a D&D game on Wednesdays, Isekai University on the channel that will last until like the end of May, where like it's a 12 episode D&D game. So maybe towards June, we're on schedule for that. I'm still going to be around doing art, working on overlays. Hello everyone. I'm now taking commissions for overlays. I'm doing 4 spots at a time. I do a package of 125 USD for a main page, splash page, and a flyer, and anything extra like a map for Roll20 or anything like that, you can just add it on. So hey, if you are interested, I'm already doing a Power Rangers one for a Power Ranger game. But yeah, I will be doing that. I will be possibly premiering over the summer a pre-recorded game. So that we have got like 4 episodes recorded. I just have to learn Adobe Audition for audio editing, because it's been a hot minute. I have my classroom in a book that was delivered to me, sort of thing. And the other thing that I will have coming up in June on the 6th is that I'll be running a game of Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, for a one-shot. The applications, I think, are still up. If you look, I've retweeted it. It's on Mer's channel, and it's for Fun Texas Choice. It is to help people in Texas have access to abortion care that can't have abortion care, including flying people out of Texas to get the care that they need. As a Texan, as someone who loves Texas dearly and loves Texas people dearly, this is very close to my heart. As an ex-Catholic, this is super close to my heart because abortion rights is healthcare, and any substitute to abortion is violence. So, that's also happening, and in my repertoire. And yeah, and next week is our Dragon Age finale. So let's go. Everyone else, what you doing? Put your links up in the fucking chat. Go, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope Worldbill on Twitter, Pope Worldbill on Twitch. I work in all your streams. This was absolutely amazing. Loved working with all of you this season. It's been an absolute delight. And if you want to see more of my ridiculous face, you get a number of opportunities throughout the week. Coming up next is Monday over on Laugh Love Lindy at 9 p.m. Eastern. We are down to clown with Innistrad, Fang and Shadow, a D&D 5e gothic horror game with Magic the Gathering lore. There is only one player amongst the five that knows anything about it, and they scream regularly, as the others just bumble about agreeing to terrible, terrible things. So if you want something that is a mix of, it's really a horror comedy. It feels like me doing a Tucker and Dale versus Evil, but Gothic edition. So if you're in that sort of mood, tune into that. And then Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern over on Follow Black Cats is our, I believe, finale for Spy Game Hex Crawl for this season. So come and see the Disaster Spies as they get their plans off the ground in Miami to head to the Indian subcontinent and cause chaos. And then
as one does.
This Saturday, I apologize, India. I am so sorry. Even though it's fictional, I apologize. And then a week from this Saturday, we will be back with more Starblade Battalion memories over on Praxagora Thesmophoria at 4:30 p.m. as that nice space opera mech game is just, we're going to disrupt yet another wedding. There's been if you thought that this had like sex and angst, that one is oversexed and over angst.
Thirst and emotions.
Characters have had backstories revealed, terrible secrets, family intrigues, corporate intrigue, and a giant galaxy spanning war. So if you're in for that sort of tale, definitely would love to have you. And thank you all for being here. Live, VOD, YouTube. Story is nothing without its audience. You are so much part of this, so much like we are. Thank you for being here and sharing this with us. Until next time, take care. See you around.
Very. Go.
Yeah. I gotta get the thingy open. Anyway, I'm Fairy Zarina. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and all of that fun stuff under Fairy Zarina. I have a playthrough of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice that I am posting on YouTube. And yeah, you can find out about all of my other fun stuff on Twitter. Yeah.
Hi, mortals. So unfortunately for you, this is my only game I was playing in. And it was my first game, actually, and I had a really fun time, so you might actually see me again. And to find out if you will see me again, I suggest you follow me on Twitter at @LEsperanto, because even if you don't see my beautiful face, you can enjoy my mad ramblings.
All right. And I'm going to wrap us up. Again, thank you, all of you, for playing. This is a bit of an experiment for me, as I've not run Defiant before, and it's a hell of a game. You all constantly brought your A games, and I sincerely appreciate that. I am actually also going on sabbatical. I will not be available or active for the foreseeable future until my life gets unexploded due to things that happened outside of this game. But you can give me a watch over on s-15studios.com or at the Siege Andrew on Twitter. And as soon as I actually have the time and energy to create stuff again, I will definitely be posting there. Just as a wrap up, again, thank you all so much for playing. Thank you everyone for coming out, and thank you for a really, really amazing time.
All right, friends. Since there's so few of us, I think we're just gonna call it a night and see you when we see you. So everyone, just wave bye. We love you.
Bye, mortals.
Bye, mortals. Because we certainly fuck aren't.